What's going on, cryptocurrency universe? It's the Bitcoin miner here, guys, and I hope everybody's doing well. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years since I posted my first video on YouTube teaching people about Bitcoin and also telling you guys my journey, how and where and what I'm doing and what I've learned about Bitcoin and the ways that we're reclaiming the energy and not paying for heat in my house. I haven't paid for heat in my house in 6 years now. I've been using cryptocurrency mining to heat my house. But you can go back and check some of my older videos to get into that. But in today's video, we're going to talk about the $40,000 Bitcoin and our next price prediction for the next halving on 2024 slash 2025, because we're really not going to start to see any movements until about 4 to 5 months after the halving, as you guys will see in my original video. So I posted this video 4 years ago, guys, and I will let you watch this couple-minute clip, and we'll go from there. So my prediction based on the base math that I just did is $10,000 the early part of 2020. So between now and then, we should have no problem reaching the $10,000 point over the next 3.5 years. I see Bitcoin easily getting to $10,000, if not higher, based on adaptation. And there's so many variables to think about. How many people in the world want a Bitcoin? So it's not just the mining profitability, it's how many people actually want it. And the more they want it, the higher this difficulty rate can even go up even faster than what I'm anticipating for. So I think, and basically everything I've been doing is very conservative numbers. So I would say these are numbers on low. This is only saying that we've got the same growth rate. This is not calculating for the exponential growth rate of people that want to learn about Bitcoin, get into it, mine it, and so forth. So I think $10,000 is a very conservative number to where I believe Bitcoin can be by 2020. And again, this is I think it could be double that. It could be easily $20,000 by then, based on the supply and demand and how many people want it. Now, after the halving, just like what happened in 2016, it went up a little bit prior. It had to settle in. People had to realize, we're not making near as much from mining. So it took, a good 5 months for it to go back, well, it took about 4 months, and it slowly went up the entire time frame. But about 4 months in is when we got a nice steady increase. 5 months, 6 months, we got a really nice increase. We broke the $1,000 mark. I think we might even broke gold's price, or right at gold's price. So let's just say 2021. And again, as a conservative number, I think Bitcoin at 2021 at a low point would be easily $20,000. And if there's a high adaptation of Bitcoin and the world is using it left and right with what's going on in Venezuela, China, now India, this could easily be doubled, if not higher. This is a very low ballpark. So I would safely answer your question, Harvey, to say between 20,000 on a low, 40 on a medium, and 60 on a high would be what I would anticipate Bitcoin's value to be in 2020/2021. Well, thank you for... Guys, that was 4 years ago, and we are right on target to where I anticipated us to be. I hope you picked up a couple of Bitcoins at under $1,000. I hope you saw this video. There was about 22,000 people who saw this, so I hope you were one of them and you strongly considered it. If not, here's my next prediction and my next rundown of how I see this going. Now, you have to understand, this is a perspective from a miner. This is where I see it going based on mining difficulty, what I see it being able to do. Now, with that said, let's take a quick look at...
With Verus, the possibilities are endless. Verus is building the future of a decentralized, self-sovereign, quantum-ready private ID and global currency that is ready for the world. It's your identity upgrade for a digital world. It's Verus ID. Download the free software at verus.io and register your Verus ID today.
So first thing is, let's look at how profitable it is to mine Bitcoin right now and compare it to where we were in the past when we hit this exponential rate. Now, obviously, we hit 20,000 much sooner than I anticipated, but as a medium level, 20,000 was a good, 20,000 was a good number from a miner's perspective for profitability. Now, we weren't able to sustain this because it was too profitable. Miners were making $100 a day with a simple machine that cost maybe $1,500 at the time, or even they varied in price, but maybe $2,000, even $3,000 if you bought it on the aftermarket. You were making $100 a day, and it just wasn't sustainable. In today's run, with a $40,000 Bitcoin and the average hardware, which is again around $2,000 depending on several factors, is only making $22 a day, which I think is a sustainable number. So I don't really see us losing too much value, especially from the amount of rewards that's coming on the market for the miners to have to sell to account for profit, for their overheads, their power, and things like that. So, I mean, we could go down to $10 a day, so we could go all the way down to 20,000. It's possible. From a mining perspective, there's a lot of other things to take into consideration, but most people don't really understand this side of the world. So, with that said, I do think we could easily hit that $60,000 mark in the short term. Will we hold it? Maybe, maybe not, depending on several other factors. Now, as we know, today is not the same time it was in the last halving in 2017. It's a new world. Bitcoin is way more accepted. We have institutional investors, and it's a new world. So are we going to get these drastic pullbacks like we did in the past? Not necessarily. But again, we're focusing on more of a mining perspective. Now, let's also look at the hash rate that we thought it would be, which was just about 6 terahashes. So at 6 terahashes, we're right about here. Now, we did about, when I made this video, we have more than 40x'd from the time of producing that video. Do I think we're going to 40x again by the time we get to the next halving? No. Reason being, I don't see us getting the hardware acceleration. The next hardware jump is probably going to go from 7 nanometers to 4 nanometers. Maybe 5. But anyways, that's a whole nother video. But most likely, it's going to be a much smaller jump than 14 to 7. So I'm calculating or assuming that it's going to be a 20 times jump over the next 4 years. That would put us at, I don't know, whatever that is, 41 terahash, possibly, but an extremely high difficulty. I took the current difficulty times it by 20. And I changed the calculating the mining hardware to 150 terahash. I left the power consumption all alone, power cost alone, and I changed the price to a $400,000 Bitcoin. That is what I think it can be at a low at the next halving, is $400,000. They'll change the block reward to what it will be. So, to get this straight, I think right around before the halving, the beginning part of 2024, we could possibly be around a $400,000 Bitcoin. I think no matter where we go today, we could see a $500,000 Bitcoin just like we saw in this last run-up. You know, I said 10,000 as a high for a medium. We got all the way to 20. Now, what can we do this time? And everything that's happening, maybe $500,000. We might see a $500,000 Bitcoin in the short term. I don't think it'll hold it. I think we could pull all the way back to 100,000. I think from a mining perspective and a profitability for a miner, the lowest number we're going to want to see for them would be 80 to 100,000. So I think we'll see 100,000 if we see a major run like we did last time and some kind of pullback. I think we could pull back to, like I said, possibly 80,000 if we go to the low range. And the super low could be even 60. Now, with that said, we'll slowly start climbing again as we reach the halving in 2024. And I think that number again will be somewhere right around the $400,000 point. You see how profitable the anticipated machine might be. It's only slightly more profitable. We can make this a lot more profitable. Or, excuse me, more powerful. Excuse me. And you can see, you know, even with a hardware jump, we're not getting that high. It's a good number. I mean, $8 a machine is pretty good, especially after you take out the power costs. So, with that said, I believe a high could be 800,000. As you see today, we're at very similar pricing. Now, that's an $800,000 Bitcoin on the high. So to be clear, my prediction for 2024/2025, 4 to 5 months after the halving, we will see a $400,000 Bitcoin to an $800,000 Bitcoin. And this is from a miner's perspective. And where I see the hardware going, where I see the growth, and so forth. I think you guys can take this as you will. You know, I'm not a trader. I don't know all the other sides of it. I have my own perspective of it, but I consider myself an expert when it comes to mining. And this is something I feel comfortable educating and teaching my side of it. I showed you how accurate it was in the past. It doesn't account for high adaptation and accelerated growth, but it does give you a baseline to consider because it's the foundation. It's what the miners are willing to sell and allow the Bitcoin, the new Bitcoin, to come onto the market. Now, something else to consider. This will not be a definitive factor as we continue to go forward. Unfortunately, this has a life expectancy. As we saw, we started off at 6. We were at 12 before. We're now going down to, as a reward, it's in here, 3. It's a 1.5 Bitcoin per block. So that means you have one every 10 minutes. I don't have a calculator right in front of me, but the reward or the amount of fresh Bitcoins coming on the market is coming drastic. So the miners are not going to have the power they once had. I mean, the value is going to go up. So the only reason I'm saying this is you can use this to predict the next halving as well, 2028. And I have a prediction for 2028. I think I should probably get this into another video, and maybe I should do this every 4 years and give you my predictions. But just since you guys stayed here and watched this video this long, I think we could see a $7 million Bitcoin in the same scenario in 2028. But I'll do this every 4 years. We'll go through it like I did last time, And thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell button. There's all kinds of wealth of knowledge here that I can teach you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer it and, give you my perspective. And I do need to say this, and I should have said it earlier in the video, this is not financial advice. This is just where I see it going from a miner's perspective and using a profitability based on what I would want to buy it from. So thanks again, guys, and stay tuned and make sure to check out, I think, the next up-and-coming coin. It's going to have ramifications in the market that it's just waiting to be seen. It's very hard to comprehend what the next level of cryptocurrency is going to be. So stay tuned. I'll put a video, guys, at the end of this. You can check it out. It's just going to blow your mind. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later on.
Our internet and economies have become globally centralized. Our data bought and sold to the highest bidder. Media platforms censored and the technology engineered to funnel and extract value and commodify and control our behavior. With the emergence of blockchain technology, we have a chance to develop new systems and engineer them for more sovereignty, privacy, and freedom. But many blockchain projects fall prey to the same patterns of centralization. Built in silos, they lack scalability and few teams build bridges to work between them. Now, with this understanding, we have a better way forward. The next evolution in decentralized tech is here. Verus is a truly free, open-source blockchain protocol designed for privacy, safety, open participation, and unlimited scalability. Verus is not a business or bank. To ensure integrity and impartiality, the secure public network is supported by a worldwide community of contributors, including a nonprofit foundation. Verus combines the latest in cryptography and zero-knowledge privacy to enable its vision of public blockchains as a service. Decentralized financial and communications tech that can scale to a new internet of value and data exchange. With Verus, any individual or organization can create recoverable, self-sovereign identities, own their data, and build and run apps and business software on any PC or mobile platform. And coming soon on Verus, individuals and organizations can tokenize assets and create currencies. Create a shared economy by tokenizing a house, for example, or bootstrap and crowdfund a project with fully liquid algorithmic conversion across multiple blockchains and cryptocurrencies. Individuals and communities can create their own microeconomies and connect to a worldwide network of other public blockchains, organizations, and economies, and they don't have to pay anyone to do these things or give away the rights to their data. Now is the time to build. These are the tools we need to do that. Build with us. Verus. Truth and privacy for all. Learn more and join the conversation on Discord.